friend of mine named Brian Wallach used to work in the Obama White House. And Brian met his wife-to-be, Sandra Abravaya, who was my press secretary. They married. When their second daughter was born, Sandra came home from the hospital to learn that her husband had ALS. Brian and Sandra have been fighting a battle now for 8 years. He's still alive. He can no longer walk or talk, but he has hope. He loves his family, and he's hoping that something will break through in ALS that gives him a chance for a future. Please explain to Brian and Sandra and their 2 young daughters why you've canceled ALS grants at institutions across this country and why you think research for diseases like ALS should be cut by 40% next year.
Senator, I don't know about those cuts. I will have to, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if those were part of the RIFs, in which case the people were not fired, but they were put on administrative leave. The issues that you're talking about are issues that are important to me: tobacco, ALS, and I know you have a passion for congenital heart disease as well. Those are all issues that I'm deeply concerned with, and I'm happy to meet with you at any time and talk about the programs and what we can do to make them better.
Of course, you're welcome, and I think the conversation is important. But I want to remind you, on April 1st, 10 laboratory heads at National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Strokes received their layoff notices. They were all PhDs and senior investigators. They're not administrators, whatever that might be. They were running intramural labs at NIH. If you have your way, they'll all be gone on June 2nd. Science Magazine reported 25 of 320 physician researchers at NIH's Internal Clinical Center are leaving, and the number of patients treated in the hospital has been reduced by 30%. 3 grants involving ALS and dementia work at Northwestern University in Illinois have been paused. One looking at how to stop the buildup of damaged proteins, another looking at cellular mechanisms that can be drug targets. Just last week, an ALS researcher at Harvard had his grant cut that was using AI to accelerate the reversal of ALS symptoms. Brian Wallach is waiting for a cure. He is not giving up. His source of hope is this research that you unfortunately are terminating. How can we possibly address his concerns and give hope to people across the country who are suffering for so many diseases when our government is cutting back on that research?
As I said, Senator, I do not know about any cuts to ALS research, and I'm happy to meet with you.
I just read them to you.
I will have to go and talk with Jay Bhattacharya and find out what the rationale was for those cuts. I just don't know about them until you told me about them at this moment.
There are many things that concern both of us about the state of public health in America. And questions you've raised, I think, are legitimate questions, many of them, that I want to follow through. I want to know the honest scientific answer to these questions. And I want to make this point. Cutting medical research is giving up on the future. You can't do that. These families are counting on you, Secretary, and counting on your department to do this research. It gives them hope to live another day. Turning out the lights and saying you're doing it in the name of efficiency or DOGE or whatever it is no consolation to these families that are struggling.